Welcome to Southern Heirlooms with Ken Rivenbark.
Welcome to Southern Heirlooms. I'm Ken Rivenbark. Since the beginning of time, treasured heirlooms have been passed down through the generations from families to families. Whether it was your grandmother's prized sterling coffee service, your father's collection of early American furniture, or your mother's treasured jewelry, each item was presented to you with the hope that you would enjoy each gift and carry their memory with you as you transition their beloved heirlooms into the fabric of your life. Throughout the South, individuals hold strong ties to the past and care deeply about their heritage and the evolution of their families. Their homes, whether big or small, quickly became the setting of varied traditions that united the family and created an environment of love. When we reminisce of these things, often we visualize these items in our traditional Southern classic homes that are intertwined in the memories of our childhood. And it is that exact ideal that is the premise for this show. The purpose of the show is to touch and embrace lives through the joy of celebrating family histories, creating new traditions, and preserving treasured family heirlooms. The show will present informative segments that educate, inspire, and challenge you, the viewers, to learn more about your heirlooms as objects of beauty, as well as utilizing them to learn more about your family heritage. When we return, we'll be visiting the Maston House in Twickenham Historic District in Huntsville, Alabama.
The answer to all your car buying questions.
Now in the hands of every salesperson at your North Alabama Honda dealer.
Saving you lots of time.
Folks love the Accord. How many to choose from?
48 today.
Pick your favorite color and trim level.
Best price?
$199 a month.
Compare it to a Camry.
Take a look.
Gas mileage?
Up to 36 miles per gallon.
That's one giant leap in car sales technology.
And it's only at your North Alabama Honda dealer, Huntsville, Decatur, and Florence.
Welcome back to Southern Heirlooms. I'm honored to be in the Maston House today in the Twickenham Historical District of Huntsville, Alabama. The house was built in 1823 by an aunt as a wedding gift for Captain Francis T. Maston. Captain Maston served with Andrew Jackson during the Creek Indian War. Captain Maston was born December 26, 1780 and died on December 17, 1865. The house remained in the Maston family until 1869. An interesting characteristic of this house is that all of the walls are 17 to 18 inches thick. I think that's quite amazing. The marble fireplace I'm standing in front of is original to the home. It's hand-carved out of Alabama marble. We're here today to talk about Colonel Otto Philip Kohler and see incredible works that have become part of his family's legacy. Get ready to be amazed when we return.
To say you've worked too hard to let this economy jeopardize your future would be an understatement. While you don't have control over today's markets, you do have control over how well prepared you are for the future. That's where the Keene Group at UBS Financial Services Incorporated in Huntsville can help. Wealth Management Advisors Penny and Tom Keene will create a plan that can help you weather the uncertain markets while keeping you on track. Call or visit our website, the Keene Group at UBS Financial Services Incorporated in Huntsville. Member FINRA SIPC.
After 20 years, Artistic Images Gallery has now moved to the corner of Bob Wallace and L&N, next to R&R Antiques and Salon Catera. We still offer the expert framing and art gallery you've come to expect. Artistic Images Gallery.
Welcome back to Southern Heirlooms. Today we're talking about Colonel Otto Philip Kohler. Colonel Kohler was born in 1901 and died in 1960. The Colonel had a fruitful hobby of making furniture. He had a workshop in the back of his home and made everything from a break front to dining room chairs. His furniture creations were often copies of early colonial American heirlooms he saw in Williamsburg, Virginia. He liked to use Honduras mahogany in his prized works. Colonel Kohler was an apprentice to a cabinet maker as a young boy. This was a result of his father's strong belief that everyone should learn to use their hands before using their head too much. I'm delighted to welcome a special guest today, Colonel Kohler's daughter, Butch Damson. Butch, thank you for sharing your father's memories and legacies with us today. As always, I'm delighted to see you. The first thing we want to talk about is this lovely tea table that your father made. If I'm understanding correctly, this was his first piece?
This was his first piece of, I'm sure that Daddy made bookcases and this, that, and something else, but this is the first piece that was of fine quality that I believe that my daddy made.
Okay. There's an interesting story here. First of all, your father was stationed in Virginia. At what base?
Fort Monroe.
Okay. And you would travel to Williamsburg, Virginia?
Right. And I looked it up on a map, and it's only 40 miles, but it seemed like it was 140 when I was a child.
The Kohlers found this table in the governor's mansion in Williamsburg, Virginia. And tell me about, did he take pictures of it? Did he take measurements? How did this come about?
I don't know how he did that. I was out playing in the maze, but I feel quite sure that that he must have. And then if he needed to figure out whether he was doing it right or wrong, he'd just trot back up there and look again.
Well, I looked this table up in the governor's mansion in Williamsburg. It is the exact replica. And I'd like to point out a couple characteristics of the fine craftsmanship. First, the intricate scalloped edges all the way around the table, as well as the fluted banding. And again, this table is solid mahogany. Another characteristic of this tea table are the slides on each end of the table, and they're made to hold a candle. Makes a beautiful setting. I know your family is very proud of this table, but I want you to join me in another room and let's talk about another piece. Shall we?
Wonderful. Can't wait.
Now we're going to talk about Colonel Kohler's knee-hole desk. The desk was made from South American mahogany mahaleb, which is a cherry hardwood. And Butch, since you remember the desk being built, please share with us its origin as you recall it.
To tell you the truth, I do not remember. I know Daddy did it. Daddy said he did it. I was 13, and I wasn't in any way interested in furniture at the time. I do know that these are called acanthus sleeves, and I do know that it is definitely hand-carved.
Okay.
And I thought that I might have heard Daddy say something about the fronts of the drawers and the top being zebra wood too. Maybe that was a less botanic name than the other. I don't know.
Well, South American mahogany had different colors, and there were some of the mahoganies had a lighter color in them. So that may have been what he was referring to, because it does have the zebra stripes.
Right.
So, and this table was built when your father was stationed in Panama.
Right.
Okay, and he was there, what time frame was that?
Probably 1952.
In addition to the beautiful hand carvings, the drawers are dovetailed, incredible work, and of course, if you look down at the bottom, the beautiful cabriole legs on the desk. Now, who was this desk made for?
It was made for my mother. Mother paid the bills. Okay. So she wanted a desk that could keep all of the things that she needed to sit down and get the bills paid and know exactly where it was.
Your father had a clever way of creating the furniture that was in Panama and to ship back to the United States. Tell me about that.
This was really neat. He ordered all of the mahogany that he had and ordered more. He made all the packing crates out of mahogany so that when he got to Huntsville, he would have plenty of mahogany to be able to go out and make some more furniture.
That's pretty incredible. Not only was he talented, he was a very smart man. I wanted to mention a couple things that we have with the collection that is on top of the desk. This beautiful Australian gilt bronze Standish eagle. It is signed Bessardish, and it dates to 1900 to 1920. In addition, there's a beautiful Italian brass crucifix, and it is circa 1900 also. In addition, there's a beautiful collection of papier-mâché inlaid desk articles. When we return, we'll take a look at one other creation of Colonel Kohler's that will leave you speechless.
We're back. Brooks and Collier, 813 Meridian Street.
Welcome back to the show. I'm here with Butch Damson, and we're celebrating the master craftsmanship of her father, Colonel O.P. Kohler, created. Butch, we saved the best for last. Tell me about this incredible mantle.
Well, it's one of my favorite things. I think it's just gorgeous. I can remember him carving these acanthus sleeves. I remember him telling me this was egg and dart. And this section right here, he would work on, sand on things, whatever. It was, by that time, I was probably 14 or so, and I could truly appreciate the craftsman that he was.
And you told me yesterday that you remember this center panel is mahogany.
The backboard, yes.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
And I couldn't honestly tell you what this was that he put on top, but he did, carve that.
Also down here, we have a lovely floral border followed by an intricate rope border. So the craftsmanship in this is simply superb. Now, let's talk a little bit about your father. You shared with me some fond memories. I'd like for you to share with our viewers, please. Starting with, you told me he was quite a generous man.
Well, he was a generous man when my mother would let him.
Okay.
He would, if he took more than $2 to work, he would always give it away. Somebody he would find always needed it worse than he did. So I guess lunch cost $2, and Mother would send him out with $2, and perhaps he ate half a lunch, and that's how he would lose weight back in those days. I don't know. But he was a wonderful, sweet, fine, generous man.
And by our community, we know the apple doesn't fall far from the tree, because your family followed in his footsteps. I would like to add, before we leave here, that the family has kept the heirlooms of his work, as well as kept the heirlooms of many of the tools that he used for this fine, intricate work. So what an incredible collection that you've kept for your family history.
Thank you, Ken.
By the generosity of your family, we know that you carry a part of your father with you in all of your endeavors and community support. Thank you, Butch, for sharing your father with us today.
It was my pleasure.
And I have to end with a hug.
All right. By all means.
We'll be right back.
Rivenbark & Roper Antiques began serving customers June 2006 and is regarded as Huntsville's finest antique gallery. The shop represents high-quality antiques from the 18th to the early 20th centuries, the largest collection of silver in North Alabama, Chinese and Japanese export porcelains, and original art from around the world. From day one, the business has focused on three principles that have established the essence of Rivenbark & Roper Antiques. They take great pride in providing their clients with the highest quality merchandise at the lowest prices possible, offering hospitality and personal service to build a relationship of trust, and to celebrate with customers the joy of bringing beauty, style, and elegance to their homes. Rivenbark and Roper Antiques has gained the reputation of offering a high-quality product with extensive personal service. The shop has lived by the strict policy of not selling reproduction furniture and abiding by the original guidelines of not selling furniture newer than 1940. Their strengths are reflected in their dedicated customers. Customers know that when they engage in business with Rivenbark and Roper, they can count on truth, knowledgeable information, and customer dedication.
In keeping with Southern Heirlooms, I wanted to share something that I've created for the Kohler furniture, and I suggest that maybe you do this at your home. I've created a card here that's got our show picture on the front, but inside is a brief history of Colonel Kohler, and then I've put details of the knee-hole desk, and then another card I put details of the tea table that we've seen today. So these pieces will be presented to the family to keep with that piece of furniture, to keep their family legacy history intact with that furniture. This is a great way so when the next generation takes a look at this desk and moves it into their home, they're going to have some history on their great-grandfather.
Richards Lighting has been proudly serving the people of Huntsville and the Tennessee Valley since 1963. Our showroom is home to the largest display of residential lighting in the state of Alabama and features items from over 100 of the finest manufacturers from around the world. Whatever your style, crystal or contemporary, wrought iron or rustic, traditional or transitional, Richards Lighting can help your home come alive. Whether looking for the one perfect fixture or lighting your entire home, the highly experienced staff at Richards is here to serve you. Richards Lighting, come imagine the possibilities.
After 20 years, Artistic Images Gallery has now moved to the corner of Bob Wallace and L&N, next to R&R Antiques and Salon Katera. We still offer the expert framing and art gallery you've come to expect. Artistic Images Gallery.
Welcome back to Southern Heirlooms. I'm here with my friend Karen Morford. When we think about traditional Southern classic homes and asked what someone mentions the decorations, the first thing that comes to mind is generally, what am I going to put on my dining room table? So what we have before us is a collection of aprons and center bowls that we want to share with you today. Karen, when you are decorating your table, what type of centerpieces do you like to use?
Well, I love using fresh flowers, and this apron, especially the Egyptian, I love that one, and I love to use fresh flowers, maybe add some candles.
And you know what? This is a great size for a centerpiece because it's low, and you can still see your guests can still see each other.
Right.
All right, let's talk about this. In the middle here with the dried hydrangeas, we have an Egyptian revival apron. It's flanked on each side with griffins, and it has the original cut glass bowl in the top. I think it's very beautiful. This dates to like 1860 to 1880. So it's quite an older piece. Directly in front of us with the Annabelle hydrangeas here is a Reed and Barton apron. Now, aprons date back to the Victorian era. They used them extensively. On a dining room table, the aprons were used for fruit as well as nuts to go in the small bowls. Today, it's more of a decorative use, but it's still a great part of our history. Right in front of me is a large cut crystal bowl. And when you see, or a vase, when you see a vase this large, first question is, what am I going to do with a vase this large? You could either leave it setting in a table by itself, you could fill it full of flowers, but it is really exquisite, and rarely do you find something of this stature. Over to my right here is another apron. One of the differences in this is it doesn't have the glass bowls. All of the bowls are silver. This is an English, it probably dates to 1930s, 1940s time frame. Coming around the table is a newer piece, I would say 1950s, and I'm going to walk around here just a moment. And this piece has two bowls. So you could serve out of the bowl, have dips at the bottom, or you could have flowers sticking out the bottom and serve food at the top. or you could have a double arrangement of flowers. Whatever you would like. They're very handy. Coming around the table, I have a pair of English Sheffield compotes. These are great for mounding fruit, putting a flower arrangement in it. And anytime with the apron, just as all of these flower arrangements are in, never put your flowers directly in the apron bowls. Use a loamy dish, a little plastic dish. You can take your measurements to your florist. You can have your flowers made, bring home, and that way you're not handling your glass as much. In the middle here is a small apron that has 7 glass trumpet vases, and I think this dates probably 1950s, 1960s. At the end here is a gorgeous apron. This is Victorian. These are dated and with monograms, 1917. These are all sterling trumpet vases roped together. And on the end, I have a single trumpet vase apron. You could have flowers projecting out of the top of your vase, as well as an arrangement here. Or, again, you could use this for serving. This last apron is English. It's probably the oldest one we have on the table. This dates to about 1840, 1860, has incredible English hallmarks with wonderful cut glass bowls. The last item I want to show you is this cut crystal punch bowl. And this is a 2-piece punch bowl. The bowl lifts off the platform. These are very prevalent in the 1950s, so your parents, grandparents probably have one of these around. Dig it out. Put it on a sideboard. Put it in the middle of a table. You can put flowers in it. We use one for shrimp when we have cocktail parties. So there's so many varieties of things that you could do with the punch bowls that maybe people don't use anymore. So with that, I hope I've given you some ideas on how to use antiques or heirlooms for your dining room table. I'm Ken Rivenbart, and we'll be right back.
Established in 1978, Randy Roper Interiors is the premier interior design firm for residential and commercial projects. The goal at Randy Roper Interiors is to work with each client to create a beautiful, warm, and comfortable space that reflects your individual tastes. Randy Roper Interiors offers one of the largest resource design libraries in Alabama and is located at 311 North Jefferson Street in downtown Huntsville. Randy Roper Interiors, where experience matters.
Welcome back to Southern Heirlooms. I'm Ken Rivenbart. We have an incredible selection of boxes to share with you, and I'm very excited about these. So I'm going to get right into it and show you some incredible marquetry, most from the Victorian era, some even earlier. Let's start with the tea box in the front. This is tiger maple. It's a sarcophagus-shaped tea box. This dates to the early 1800s, possibly late 1700s. It has compartments for 2 compartments for tea, as well as a mixing bowl. I would like to add this mixing bowl has been later added. It's not original. One other tea box is probably same time frame, early 1800s. It is lacquered with pewter inserts. Again, you have 2 sections for tea. Now, the Victorians used boxes to protect their valuables. So they would lock up their tea boxes, they would lock up their knife boxes, they would lock up their jewelry boxes, and lock up their liquor. Okay, so let's take a look here. This is a wonderful letter box. It is rosewood with the most beautiful mother of pearl inlay. What's exciting about this letter box is it has a little release pin that releases a secret drawer. So when you see a box this age from the Victorian era, mid-1800s, you always wonder just what did they keep in it. Now we're going to get some really beautiful boxes. This is, again, a rosewood box with mother of pearl inlay. This is a jewelry casket. The front doors open up. Beautiful tooled leather. Each drawer is fitted. The bottom drawer is actually a little writing box or writing area. then you can see how each drawer is fitted. Beautiful. I love the tufted fabric in the back. Everything about this is perfect to me. I get excited over this one. Here we have, again, Victorian, 1840, 1860, walnut burl wood liquor cabinet. And I'm going to show you how this opens. Lifts up to a fitted liquor cabinet. Now, everything you see here, the decanters and the glasses are all original. There is one decanter that is missing. But how beautiful is that? In the middle, this is one of the largest writing boxes I've ever seen. It is rosewood, very heavy, and heavily inlaid with brass. I'm going to open this up. You have a mirror back. You have a workstation just as it is. You have compartments here for your instruments. Or you can continue to open it till you have a slant front. And I think this is, again, a beautiful example of a writing box. I am now going to show you, this is one of my favorite boxes. It is an English Bible box. It has the carving IH, which is symbolic for Jesus' name. This dates 1760 to the late 1700s. So this would have been in a home. You can imagine how special it would have been to protect the family Bibles. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Salon Katera is the place where style meets care and individual attention. At Salon Katera, we know that people may forget what you said, may forget what you did, but people will never forget how you made them feel. Salon Katera, a natural formation of complete beauty.
Thank you for joining us for Southern Heirlooms. For more information on today's show, visit kenrivenbark.com. With a heart full of gratitude, I'm Ken Rivenbark.